Okay. I've been on Facebook for a while now, and I'm really tired of typing all kinds of stuff, especially when I type a big long blurb, and then somehow, if I'm typing it on my phone, somebody calls and it gets wiped out, or the page doesn't refresh or something and save my work. So I'm just going to start posting an occasional video, and usually I will set some type of a topic. This one particularly is the first one, and it's going to be there's a I can't remember the name of the Facebook uh, user that posted this. I think it was something like uncensored Caribou citizen or something like that. Um, he's got a pretty neat page. He's got a lot of interesting viewpoints, many of which I share. A lot of conspiracy theory kind of stuff, and most of which larger conspiracy theories are usually not conspiracy theories at all. They're a lot of fact in the conspiracy theories. But regardless, he had posted something about how like the Caribou PD was in cahoots somehow with the larger drug community, and that every time they would bust people, they would take the drugs, put them into evidence, and then send them back out on the streets. And it, it was just such a silly notion. Really, just a kind of a brain dead thinking. Um, to even entertain that, it was, I don't know. It was just silly. So I just wanted to post a counterpoint to that, and this is pretty much it. If you really think they're doing that, I mean, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm sure you're a real smart guy, whoever or girl, whoever it is, making those postings. But I mean, really, you really honestly think, all the people. I mean, I know most of those guys. They used to bust me all the time for stupid stuff when I was younger, and for a long time I had a bad opinion of the cops because I was always getting in trouble. But most of them are just dudes working a job, and I really don't think there's some secret agenda like they meet and start twisting their mustaches and say how they're gonna bust everybody they can and get all the drugs and then put them back on the streets just to keep them in business. It's just so silly. It really, really asinine to even to even entertain the idea that that's the master plan of the Caribou PD. I think they have a little bit bigger fish to fry. That's not to say that there aren't some Caribou cops and Presque Isle cops and whatever other cops that can be abrasive or even be assholes. I mean, surely, but that's not anything to do with a PD. That's just pretty much any group of people. I mean, whether it be fat people, skinny people, black people, white people, kids, adults, seniors. You take any one of those groups and you pull 50 people out of them, there's going to be some assholes. That's just the plain and simple truth of it. Doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's above being a dick. But to think that all of them have this agenda that they're gonna put drugs back on the street. I mean, it's just such a silly thing to even think. Um, anyway, I just wanted to post that as a counterpoint to this kind of ridiculous local conspiracy. It was just, I thought it was funny. I don't know, maybe he was just joking, the guy who posted it. I don't know. Um, but in any case, for the most part, most of those guys, I know most of them, and they're just dudes working their jobs. Yeah, there might be an occasional power trip here and there, and I've thought about it before, and it's got to be a hard. I mean, it's hard enough for somebody to, you know, to not have a power trip in that position. I mean, if you really try to really step outside of your shoes and step into theirs, if somebody hands you a gun and a badge and a uniform, and you have this position of authority, it's got to be really hard not to have some sort of like a 10 feet tall and bulletproof kind of attitude. And I think most of them, for the most part, do pretty well at kind of putting that aside. There are a few, there's always a few, that are just, on the power trip and just, you know, jerks and whatnot. But like I said, that's any group of people. There's a few that are really, really cool guys who are just doing their job. Doug Conroy was, ironically, he was a former Caribou PD, and he was a police chief for Washburn for quite a while. He was the guy that busted me for everything. Sent me to jail so many times I can't even count. But at the same time, he was like the one dude that I had the most amount of respect for, because he never busted me like, you're busted. It was always just like, look, you fucked up and I'm just doing my job, and now you gotta pay for what you did. And that was just the way I was, and I still talk to the guy to this day. He's a really cool cat. But anyway, I really don't think the Caribou PD has some sort of secret society of drug pushers. Anyway, this was just my counterpoint to that, and if you like it, comment on it. Hope you enjoyed.